How does everyone feel about these analysts, man, having a national audience to spin any subject how they feel and not be held accountable? How does everyone feel about that? Because I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I'm just fed up with it, with these analysts up there being able to spew any conversation they want, the way they want to control the narrative and not be held accountable. I don't like it. I'm sick and tired of it. And when you get people like myself, that attacks the subject head on, they don't want to talk about it anymore. Why is that?
That's the part you don't like.
That's the part that gets me upset.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't it be a nice, simple debate? You want to be so brave and go up in front of a national audience or whatever audience you have and speak on things that you have no idea about. I don't like it. Now, the update, guys. Yes, because there's an update. Mr. Sensitive Nancy decided he couldn't take the pressure from Mr. Pick Six anymore, and it was time for him to use that sensitive button, the block button against Mr. Pick Six. Check him out, man, Ryan Clark. Yeah. Mr. Ryan Clark, it says, you have been blocked. Ryan Clark has blocked you. Yes, I made it, y'all. Man, this is a badge of honor, guys. Everyone that has made it. And Ryan Clark has blocked us. Hold up a fist, baby, for your badge of honor for the Ryan Clark block team, baby. Block crew. Yes, I made it, man. He finally blocked me. And all I did was tweet. I may have said something that he didn't like. Like he says a lot of things that he says a lot of things that we don't like. We don't like what he says. And I just simply was stating the facts, giving him the truth, sending him the truth so he can be more educated on situations and not just speak foolishly like he always does. Me, myself, I like to learn. If I'm saying something wrong, teach me what's right so I can learn what's right and correct myself. That's how I roll. But you send it to a guy like Ryan Clark after he speaks foolishly. He doesn't know how to man up and answer back. He runs like a sensitive guy, like he just showed us he is. And all that did was give me more ammunition. I don't know why he thought blocking me would make anything better. That's just going to agitate me more to say more things about Ryan Clark. Does he know who he's dealing with? He needs to go pull up some of my practice film and see how long-winded I am and how much I can talk. I can do this forever. You understand what I'm saying? I wake up one morning and decide you are the topic of discussion and make you the topic of discussion for no reason. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the problem, man, the problem Ryan Clark has, man, it only could be one of two things. Either he is an extremely sensitive guy or he just refuses to acknowledge the truth. It has to be one or the other. Because like I said, I gave him the truth. I gave him the facts. But he decided to block me. So it could be either he's a sensitive guy or he just refuses to acknowledge the truth. That's weak. That's weak to me, man. That's just weak to me.
Yeah, you got a lot of people on your page talking to you. You ever block anybody?
Yeah, I block some people, man. I don't allow the outrageous comments. Like when me and Coach, I was going at Tony Dungy. I'm gonna say we was going at it, but when I was going at Tony Dungy, they would say things that happened to him and his family that that I asked them to erase it first, and they didn't erase it, so I would block them because situations, things like that being said isn't necessary. I'm just here to talk shit, man, and get answers. You know what I mean? But for Ryan Clark, man, not being able to acknowledge the truth, man, that's just weak to me. That is weak. Someone that doesn't mind talking shit all day long about people, but refuse to have a conversation about it is just simply weak. That's simply weak to me. And I didn't ask Ryan Clark to go up there on the pivot and say my name when I was having my power hour about Darrell Reeves and with Shannon Sharp and Coach Prime and things like that. I didn't ask him to go up there and say my name. He decided to go up there and use my name in a disparaging way, in a disparaging sense, you know? So to me, as a man, it's only fair you go back as loud as you did and go state the facts. That's all I'm asking.
What you think what the last straw was? What made him block you? What was it?
There was a stat that I just found recently. Historically and statistically, Asante Samuel's 2006 season was the best of any cornerback in the history of the NFL since 2006, because they only had the metrics and everything available since 2006. So Google it. Since 2006, so you can read it. You know, my stats that season, I didn't make it to the Pro Bowl. I didn't make All Pro. I didn't make anything. So I didn't get any recognition for that season. But that is what I mean. That is a fact. That is documented pretty much everywhere. Now, you're going to have some stories that try to give other cornerbacks, you know, publicity and name recognition, because that's how it goes in the media world. In 2006, historically and statistically, Asante Samuel has pretty much had the best season of any cornerback. It's okay to have strong belief against someone's abilities, but once you are confronted with the truth, you must say it loud, just as you did when you was wrong, and correct the misinformation. That's the problem I have.
Yeah, I see. It says since 2006, a number of elite corners have failed to overtake Asante Samuel record, including Richard Sherman, Chris Harris Jr., and Darrell Reeves.
Men like Ryan Clark, man. Men like Ryan Clark are a danger to society. No accountability. And then when he apologized, you can tell it's mandated by the boss man after making him, you know, the face of making these annoying takes. Only time he apologized when the boss man says, this is a time for you to apologize. Other than that, man, he keeps it moving every day like nothing happened. Like he has said nothing wrong, done anything wrong. And Ryan Clark, man, I see, man, a lot of people disagree with Ryan Clark and how he handles the media and things that he say. Why go up there and try to make assumptions and say this is just my opinion and things like that? Like you watched every game of every cornerback and you know exactly what you was talking about. That you don't. No one does. No one does. Unless everyone went back and rewatched games. Ryan Clark, there's no way he can say anything factual like that. Like you watch so many games and you understand the difference between these running cornerbacks. I can talk like that because I've studied pretty much every cornerback. I went back and rewatched games. I watched games while I was playing and while we was playing at the same time and rewatching, because I wanted to see what anyone was supposedly doing better than myself, because I know I was killing it out there.
When ranking the greatest single season ever by a New England Patriots cornerback, several stand down history, but one remains statistically the best, and is Asante Samuel 2006 season. The elite grade was 93.2, the highest single season PFF grade for a Patriots cornerback, among the best of the PFF era for any cornerback. The turnover machine had 12 interceptions that year, leading the NFL, disrupting opposing offenses all season long.
Man, can't change history, y'all. So check it out, right? Now, this is all Googleable. This is all public information to everyone. So for a guy who's supposed to be Ryan Clark to go up in front of a national audience or his podcast and act like he's telling the truth while trying to talk down on another man, I can never agree with that. I can never get down with that. And then you let time go by when I blatantly showed you the truth and you still refuse to acknowledge it. I have a big problem with that. It says, when ranking the greatest single season ever by a New England Patriots cornerback, several stand out historically, but one season rises above the rest statistically and historically. Asante Samuel 2006 season. Elite grade. Pro Football Focus gave Samuel a 93.2 overall grade in 2006. The highest grade, the highest single season PFF grade for a Patriots corner and amongst the best in the PFF era of any cornerback. Any cornerback. Must I say more? You understand what I'm saying? Any cornerback, historically and statistically. So for him to not want to represent the truth or recognize the truth, refuse to want to know the truth, I just have a problem with that. I'm always going to have a problem with that. You decided to go up there and say my name. He wanted to say it. Hey, you got to deal with it.
The facts always got to override the opinions, man.
Huh?
I said the facts got to always override the opinions. You can't stick with the opinions. You got to stick with the facts, and that's a fact.
You have to stick with the facts, man. Those are the facts. That's what I'm trying to say. You can have all your opinions you want because, like I said, no one is able to watch all of the games. But when you are presented with the facts, you have no choice.
You gotta acknowledge it.
You got to acknowledge it. You have no choice. That's how I see it. Or you just want to stick around and continue to say what I said was right. Man, that's some flaw ass shit to me. I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised like that. You feel me?